Joined by Bryant McFadden, now an analyst for CBS Sports. Won a couple Super Bowls with the Steelers. Two questions before we let you go. Want to get your take on Dwayne Haskins, but before that, what was it like lining up against Antonio Brown in practice? Do you have any good Antonio Brown stories, and what do you see that lies ahead for him?
Man, okay. Well, since you guys are located in Washington, let's talk about Mr. Haskins first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think number one for me, with DC, with the fans, with the organization, if he's your guy, believe in him, right? Believe in him. Now, the issue is you got a whole new staff. They're not invested in Dwayne Haskins. They didn't draft him, but I think they're going to allow him to really show his worth. And I think between Dwayne Haskins and Al, I mean, we know who's the more talented guy. It's about just being consistent. But for me to see Dwayne Haskins take that step forward, he got to have somebody running the football for him. And, I'm a big-time Adrian Peterson fan. Adrian Peterson has been one of the best band-aids in the National Football League at the running back position, because what he's done over the last few years is step up when the guy who was supposed to be stepping up hasn't stepped up. And he has really provided big-time numbers for Washington. But it's time for Darius Geis to do what he has been called to do. It's time for Darius Geis to, number one, stay healthy. And outside of staying healthy, do what you did in Baton Rouge, right? I mean, that was a physical, dominating runner at LSU. Played against elite competition. So it's time for Darius Geis to, man, stay healthy and put up the numbers that you're supposed to put up, because that will help your young quarterback out in Dwayne Haskins. Now, one concern I have, and I'm going to attack the Antonio Brown question, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. One concern I have with Washington offensively is who will be a reliable pass catcher outside of McLaurin when it comes to Dwayne Haskins being able to throw the football around the football field. Like, I have concerns at the pass catching position, especially at the tight end position. So I think that is going to be the unknown until the season starts about, who will emerge in camp outside of Terry, because what Terry did last year, I think he is a number one guy. But, with young wide receivers, when they get that number one attention, sometimes the numbers can be a bit up and down, because now defensive coordinators know you can ball, and we got to treat you like a big-time player, because that's the direction you're going.
Well, Bryant, there's no question that they are lacking a playmaker at tight end. They don't have anybody that's proven. And at wide receiver, they're going to hope that some of these young guys like Harmon and Sims can step up.
Yeah, and the guys they drafted.
And they're going to have to, which is kind of confusing for me, guys, that they didn't go out and acquire a more veteran presence for Dwayne Haskins. Because I don't like having a young quarterback along with young wide receivers. I don't like that mix. I don't think it's good, because it's almost like who is going to lead who, right? They're both trying to find their way in this league, and they're also learning through experiences. So that could be a very, very difficult situation, especially, if you're not having legit production running the football. And then with the AB question, man, listen, I worked out before we even drafted AB, we were both South Florida guys. We worked out together down in Miami when he was getting ready for the combine and things like that. And then when we drafted AB, I remember the first day in OTAs, because I had just got traded back to Pittsburgh, matter of fact. Me and AB was connected because the pick that Arizona sent to Pittsburgh along with myself was from the Cardinals. So we were kind of connected. But the first time I saw AB run an out route, man, it was a speed out. And we had AB we drafted Emmanuel Sanders. Mike Wallace was still there. So we had some young studs at the pass catching position along with Hines Ward and Antoine Randall, who played in D.C. Man, I saw AB run an out route, man, and nothing but grass was up behind him. That's how powerful his steps and his cuts were, precise his cuts were. You just saw it with him instantly, right? And it just took some time for him to kind of learn the game. And what he did throughout his time in the National Football League, I wasn't surprised, because I saw it instantly, and he had work ethic. And I used to compare AB to a guy who I know from South Florida, played against in college. Well, no, actually, I didn't get a chance to play against Santana. I redshirted that year in 2000. But I saw a lot of Santana Moss and AB in our young AB. And you guys know how good Santana was, of course, with this time with you guys with Washington and D.C. But just the measurables, kind of the same guy when it comes to size, the speed, the quickness, and just the big playability coming from a smaller guy. That's something that always stood out for me in AB, and that was a comparison that I used earlier in his career with Santana Moss.